Parish here on the New 102. I am Rick Godley and happy to be with you here this morning as we are fired up on the Facebook side, also over the airwaves as we brought into the guest a gentleman by the name of Ron Butler, but he goes by the name of Buckskin Billy. Buckskin Billy is what intrigued me. What's also intrigued me too there, Ron, Jean Jones, the director of the Lincoln Parish, check that, the Union Parish Museum of History and Art. She does a great and noble work, Union Parish, in doing a variety of educational as well as exhibits. So when I saw Buckskin Billy on the upcoming thing, I said, I got to find out just what is a Buckskin Billy. And now he's sitting right next to me in the studio. Ron, good morning, my friend. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well as well. So the event is scheduled for this Thursday. It's a hide tanning workshop, but there's good news, and then there's good news. And the good news is it was limited seating. It was a $20 fee that people had to call Jean Jones at 982-8020, 982-8020 to get a seat. Well, she told me that it was all booked up there, Ron. That's kind of cool, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's always a good thing.
It is a good thing. And therefore, you got a return engagement turned around real quick on the 27th. You're going to do it again.
Correct.
All right, so Buckskin Billy, let's get a little bit of the Ron Butler story. What attracted you? Well, first of all, tell me what it is that you do.
Well, I do leather work as well as Native American type brain tanning buckskins. I take old slimy looking deer skins and make them into something beautiful like buckskins.
When did you first do that? And then when did you realize, you know what, I kind of like doing this?
The first one I ever did was in 2000, but I didn't get hardcore into doing this until 2005.
All right.
And,
so what's the difference between dabbling in it and getting hardcore?
it pretty much becomes your life. It consumes every spare second of your time.
So I'm going to make a presumption here. You're not married, or you just have a really lovely wife?
I'm happily single.
Okay, happily single. All right, Buckskin Billy, happily single, and but his time is consumed by making things. And I flashed up the knife sheath. Now I have up here a holster and also a belt that has bullets. You made all this?
Yes, sir, all by my hands. No machines, all hand sewn.
All right, how long does it take to do one of these?
If I'm really motivated, I can have something like that done in about 2 to 3 days.
Does money motivate you?
Yes, sir.
I bet it does. All right, so here's the thing, though. You're going to be teaching this craft and skill. How long have you been doing that, the teaching side?
I believe my first class that I did was in 2013 for the Wildlife and Fisheries. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing that every March since then.
All right, so this coming Saturday, the hide tanning workshop, it says 9 a.m. till noon, and you want to have to reserve a spot. You can't do that because it's sold out. That's a good thing. But Jean has you coming back in 2 weeks on the 27th, so folks call 982-8020, 982-8020. What should somebody bring to your workshop?
Just come prepared to get dirty. Don't wear your nice clothes. The 3 hours that we have to do this is only an overview. There's no way I can completely show every step of the process. This is just a peak interest.
All right, so how many 20, did you say 2013 was your first foray into teaching, leading?
Yes.
All right, so what's the largest size you have? And then tell us about some of the past students, because I would dare say they got to have a want to want to learn, and then some may become just like you, where it becomes so consuming. Do you have any of those students?
I have a lot that stay in contact with me that they're still going through the learning process. Mm-hmm. This last fall, I did a full-blown hide tanning class in South Louisiana, where I taught from beginning to end, and we were able to get 2 hides completed. And most of those students have stayed in contact with me, asking questions as they're learning this process on their own.
Who taught you?
A book.
So a book taught a buck. Probably why you had a bic in your pocket, but that's for another show at another time.
That's right.
And so when you did this, what year was that? And then you said, you know what, I think I want to do this again and again, and that you got to where you can make some beautiful pieces.
It started off for me just making gear for myself. All this handmade stuff, I wanted as close to the original from the old west of the old days as I could make it. And gear like that, there's very limited people that are doing it, therefore it's kind of expensive, and I don't have an expensive wallet, so I had to learn how to do it, and I would start out just doing it for myself, and then from there people started asking me, hey, you reckon you can make me some of this stuff?
Well, and that's a good thing, and yes, you want to make it for people because that way it'll fatten up your buckskin wallet, right?
That's right.
At the same time, what will fatten up your buckskin wallet is to lead other workshops. How do people get in touch with you?
They can contact me through my email, buckskinbilly@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, Buckskin Billy, and that's my personal Facebook page. And then I have a Facebook page, Buckskin Billy Hide and Leather, and that's where you can go and see all my work.
And hide and go seek, but a whole different thing. Now we have this is, I don't know if Facebook will let me post that, but I'm posting. That's a pretty nice little piece there. Not the firearm. I'm talking about the holster. Tell us about how long that took.
That was a relatively easy job to do. It took me, I think, one day to make the pattern and cutting out leather and letting glue and dye dry.
Right.
And after that, it's just sewing it up the next evening.
And what kind of a piece are we looking at here? What skin is that?
That's a veg tan cowhide. That's store-bought leather.
Okay, store-bought leather.
Right, yeah.
What's the most unique skin that you've used?
I've tanned 2 buffalo hides, made robes out of those. I've done a couple of elk, but mostly when I tan, I usually do the brain tan buckskinning out of whitetail deer, and I have done some bark tanning where you use tree bark for the tanning solution.
Really?
It makes a different type of leather, but it's very neat.
So what are we looking at here? Is that the white? What kind of a hide is that?
That would be a brain tan buckskin.
Brain tan, and you're saying brain, B-R-A-I-N, but it has nothing to do with brains.
Yes. The old hide tanning saying is that all animals have enough brains to tan their own hides except for buffalo and most people that I know. You didn't expect that one, did you?
No, I mean, you're the one that came in all sleepy-headed, and I was wide awake, and now you got one over on me, so help me here. Is that, you actually use the brains to?
Traditionally, yes. In modern times, we have a chronic waste disease to worry with,
Right.
so I don't use the brains that much anymore.
Right.
Instead, I use eggs.
Okay. All right, so actually what's going to happen Saturday and at the workshop for Ron Butler, a.k.a. Buckskin Billy, at the Union Parish Museum of History, Art and History, is he going to do it again on the 27th. So what should people bring tools, or are you going to literally start them off like if it was Rick Godley, who has never done this before in his life? Or do you people have experience?
Just show up. Like I said, don't wear your Sunday best because you're going to get dirty.
All right, so on your bucket list, the bucket list of Buckskin Billy, is there something that you've been wanting to create out of a hide that you know is in your future, but you haven't done it yet?
I'm actually working on that now. A traditional made Metis style frock coat made out of buckskins. Now,
Metis, what is that? Is that a tribe?
Yes, that was a tribe. I believe they were a mixed race of Native Americans and French.
Wow. You know, I'm going to go down another rabbit trail, but I'll try to hold it as Poverty Point. You ever been out to Poverty Point?
Oh yeah.
I mean, what's there that I need to go to? I mean, besides it's a World Heritage Site, right?
Well, probably at some point or another, people at Poverty Point were tanning hides similar to the way I'm going to show it this weekend.
Cool.
Except they were using rocks instead of the tools that I use.
And the tools that you use, I mean, store-bought, or did you have to make them? You mentioned your wallet was skinny at the time.
There's a couple of store-bought items that I get, but a lot of it you kind of have to build yourself. The majority of my tools I scrounge up off the roadside ditches.
I love this organic type
Recycle,
business.
brother.
Well, yeah, well, very much so. That's exactly what you recycle, reuse, reimagine, and make it happen. And you literally are making it. Tell us about. You got to have some great, deep personal satisfaction as far as creating something, and once it's finished.
Yeah, especially when you're making buckskins, you're taking a bloody, slimy deer hide, and you can watch it literally transform in front of your eyes to a useful piece of material.
Right, right.
Soft and velvety feeling.
You know, one of the things too that, and you had to go through it. Everybody who's on a learning curve has to go through it, and it's almost like learning sucks because you're making mistakes. But every mistake is a step forward. You understand what I'm saying? Did you go through that frustration curve called a learning curve, and you probably still are doing it?
Yes, I tell everybody I'm far from an expert. I'm just an enthusiastic student. You never quit learning.
Right.
Especially when you're doing this handcraft stuff.
Well, how do you cope with, besides please don't say throwing your instruments across the room. I mean,
I have done that. If you notice on my Facebook post, everything is authentically cussed at in frontier gibberish.
I did not.
And that's why.
I did. I think I remember seeing that, but I'm like, wait a second. I don't know what that means, so I just moved past it. But what is frontier gibberish? Can we say that on the radio?
Probably not. Just a lot of grunting and saying 4 little words that I shouldn't say around my mom.
Don't do that here. I get it. All right, so this coming Saturday, who reached out? Did Jean reach out to you? I think this is a great thing.
Yes, she reached out to me. I've done work with her before. I've taught a leather class there last summer, and I've set up for their Folk Life Festival, setting up some of my Old West, I guess, artifacts, you can call it.
Right. Buckskin Billy, who gave the name? Did you adopt it, or did your parents give it to you as soon as you were born and started to tan your hide?
Yeah, well, I got mine tanned plenty coming up. I earned every one of it, but years ago I was involved in cowboy action shooting, and it's a competition shooting sport, and they encourage you to have a shooting alias, and with the help of my daughter Brandy, we came up with Buckskin Billy.
Cool, I like it. Anything else we can say here to help you, to help the museum, to help the art, the skill, the craft?
Just support this kind of stuff when you're able to.
Right. What's the biggest misunderstanding or myth understanding that people have, and people come to you with questions that you've heard before? What would those questions be? What's the smile on your face?
I always hear, I don't know where this, I always hear that you have to chew on the hide to make it soft, and that's no truth in that. We won't be chewing on no deer hides this Saturday, I promise.
All right, so all right. Any other skins you're looking for, like whale skin maybe, or?
No, I've dabbled with reptile skins and such in the past, but I pretty much preferred, to work with leather and buckskins.
Sure. Well, man, Ron, I appreciate you coming down here. Buckskin Billy, by the way, this Saturday, job well done. Is did you know it would sell out?
I had several people contacting me within a second week saying they couldn't get in. So
that's great. You got to be encouraged about that, right?
Oh, yes.
Are there other folks out there on the Buckskin Trail that do what you do, either a mentor of yours or somebody that's trying to learn from you? Do you have a camaraderie?
There's others out there that do it. There's not many around here that do it on the level that I do. Some of it, there's other guys that'll do it around here. They just do it out of necessity. This becomes a labor of love for me.
Right.
I'm always tinkering with it.
Ron Butler is his name, Buckskin Billy. And by the way, as we flash up this here, that's either Fabio or you, and that's close to P Ridge, if I can place where that's. Where's this painting from?
I'm not sure. Somebody sent that to me and asked me, was this you? And I'm like, it should have been.
Well, it should have been here.
I have the same rifle.
Sure, you got the same rifle, and you got the hair look, and matter of fact, where's the? I like this little piece right here. I mean, it looks like that's what he has wrapped around his waist. So
yeah, that gun belt and holster went all the way to Wyoming.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
How they order it online? How'd they find out about you?
He knew me from living history events that I do and seeing my work online.
Good job, man. Good job. Well, Ron, I appreciate you coming in today, and let's stay in touch, and hopefully we can get you some business and teaching, as well as maintaining that which you love, which is to do what you do, which is tan some hides.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me.
You're welcome. There he is. That's Mr. Ron Butler. He is Buckskin Billy right here on the new Rue 102, 8:37 time-wise. Here are the meters now.